ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe.
Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Retro Card Vintage Collection Spider-Man Wave Spider Armor Mark I figure. If you're trying to pick this up, you can do so at
Search your feelings, you know it be true.
Darkside Toys is a store for you. Link below. Alright, down there I ask you to please hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. I gotta say, this looks pretty sweet already. That silver paint is looking pretty awesome. Love the splats right over here. Nice image of the Spider Armor Mark I. You can see it says web splat in several languages. On the back right over here, you can see that same image. You can swap the hands. There's a read up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. There's the other figures from the wave. Nothing on the side, top or bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the Spider Armor Mark I figure out of the packaging, and behold the silver on this figure. Yeah, it's vanilla posed, but I really just wanted to look at the silver of this figure because that stood out to me as soon as I opened it. Anyway, we get some cool accessories to look at, so let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll take a closer look at this figure. We get two sets of hands, whipping hands, fisted hands, no wall crawling hands, and then we get these two web splat accessories, which are brand new and look pretty good. You know, I gotta say, I do like the sculpt of these. I don't know, maybe if I heat them up, they'll kind of change shape a little bit. It's a little tricky getting them on a figure. Like, I played around with it with the chameleon over here, and it's like you just got to find friction points to get that on the figure. I find it a little bit more difficult with this one right over here, but I gotta say I am happy to have these. I like having the options. I'm definitely going to talk about the texturing and paint apps a lot more as we go through this video, but yeah, look at that. The hands look great. A lot of detail over here. So the reasoning behind the Spider Armor Mark I is to help deflect bullets against the new Enforcers. I'm not familiar with the new Enforcers, I know the old Enforcers, and getting an Ox Build-A-Figure would be kind of sweet, wouldn't it? But anyway, comparing this head sculpt to images from the comics and to what we'd seen in the video game, it looks like they went with the aesthetic from the video game a little bit more from the comics, because from the comics he has more silvery eye lenses. In the game, it looks like it's more of the black eye lenses. Either way, it looks pretty good. I like having this black paint right there for the eyes. It adds some contrast and everything, and man, that silver looks great. You guys know I love my silvery figures, and I'm so stoked that Hasbro is giving so much more detail in the sculpt and everything for the comic figures. We usually see this with movie figures or video game figures, but for the comic figures, not as much. Now you can see some subtle paint imperfections right over here, but for the most part, I love how this silver paint looks, especially on the back right there. That looks so sick, man. I'm so stoked about Hasbro putting more love towards the comic figures. You can see the pinless joints right here. Again, we just normally see this stuff with either the movie figures or the video game figures, but this is just really cool to see. Look at that, the texturing right there on the Spider logo. Man, this looks sick. I really love this silver paint right here. You can bend back and then you can see some more texturing underneath. I like how the black portions have texturing throughout. That is sick. You can see some musculature in there and everything. Man, this thing is great. I'm so stoked about it. Gripe though is that, and I do have a couple gripes, is that the web shooters are always going to be on the inside of the forearm, so you can't really get them whipping like that. You know, it's always got to be kind of sideways, even though I will still pose them, you know, I guess technically incorrectly this way, so whatever, man. I still have a lot of fun with this figure. And then again, the legs look great right over here. And then you can see right here on the calves and everything, really nice silver paint apps. Very few imperfections on this figure. I really like it a lot. Treads right over here, and you get peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Now, the majority of the gripes I have with this figure come with the articulation. We don't get the neck hinge, and we just have the dumbbell joint right there, and he can only look up that far. That's not good enough for a Spider-Man figure, man. It still looks awesome, but yeah, I wish I could look up way more than that. He will only look down that far. You get side-to-side motion, and you get that good head pivoting. I'd prefer to be able to look up more, but you do not also get the butterfly joints. You can see some wiggling right there, but no butterfly joints. The shoulders will move outward very far, and I'm not seeing a lot of scuffing going on over here. These are all on the hard parts of the plastic of the shoulders, but yeah, there's a little bit of rub going on, so be mindful of that. that. You can't move the shoulders inward very far. You can rotate a full 360. You get your bicep swivel. You get your pinless double jointed elbows. All the hands turn side to side and hinge up and down. You get an ab crunch forward, ab crunch back, waist cut, hips move outward. I wish we had drop down hips with this figure, and you can only get the legs moving upward that far, which is actually not bad, but compared to the other Spideys, which I'll talk about soon, maybe tomorrow, hopefully. Upper thigh cut, and then the pinless double jointed knees bend in very well. I like that. I really wish we had boot rotation right here. That would really help with posing, but we don't. Ankles do move down, they do move up, and he has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out this Spider Armor Mark 1 figure, you could see that he is standing just a bit over 6 inches tall, more like 6¼ inches. And then for a Spider Armor comparison, you can see the Mark 1 next to the Mark 3, and we have the Mark 4. I guess these are both video game figures. I don't know. I'm seeing this as a comic figure. But anyway, I don't know of any Mark 2s out there, like from any toy line. Let me know if that just missed my radar or whatever. But anyway, Mark 4 is my favorite. I love this suit. Then here's the Spider Armor Mark 1 figure. Next to another shiny metallic figure, we have Colossus. One thing I wanted to point out too is that notice his feet are kind of flayed outward just a little bit, or splayed outward. That bothers me some. See how these are pointing forward. Then for another Spider-Man figure comparison, we have our retro card vintage collection Spider-Man figure, and yeah, calf joints. I would have really liked that. Then here's the Spider Armor Mark 1 next to a Peter Parker figure, and I did want to see if you could put a Peter head on this new Spider Armor figure. Hey, that fits. All right, pretty cool. All right. Pretty excited about that. Head looks a little big, but still, I think that works. You have another display option there if you want to use it. Then here's the Spider Armor Mark 1 next to the only other figure from this wave that I reviewed. We have Shocker, and the only other one I need now is Hobgoblin. So stay tuned. I hopefully will have a symbiote Spider-Man, or actually black suited Spider-Man review up tomorrow. Hopefully. We'll see. And then here's the Spider Armor Mark 1 figure next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Whoa, you're all covered in metal. You must really be into metal, huh? Like, you like bands like Puddle of Mud, right? They're awesome. What about Creed? Or what about... Oh. Hey... So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And a big thank you to all these people that support this content via Patreon and membership. If you're interested in supporting, check it out. Link below. Man, this figure is very, very cool. I'm so happy to have it. I had the accessory from way back in the day, and I haven't been able to find it. And, you know, when I first seen that, I actually really wanted to have that figure. I was like, oh man, it would have been really cool if they actually made that figure and stuff instead of just giving us the accessory. So to finally have an official Spider Armor Mark 1 just makes me really happy, and I think the execution of it is actually quite dope. I have my complaints with the articulation, but I just really love the way it looks more than anything else, and it's still very well articulated. I just wish there was more going on, and I appreciate the new body mold for it and everything. So I am very happy with this, and at the price point of around $25, I'm going to give this Spider Armor Mark 1 a SUD rating of I love it! And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to find the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
Crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.